Hello everybody, how are you doing? I am officially a Swiftie for life because my God, my friends, Swift Transportation has done the impossible. Yeah, we're going to talk about it. There was one huge reason, well, there were quite a few reasons why I decided I was going to come over to Swift, but there was one that was very important to me, and Swift was able to pull it off, and I am a very, very happy, cute little Swift driver at this very moment in time. Now that may change next week, and I may be real frustrated with something, and then you guys will go, hypocrite, you said last week you were happy. What's the difference between last week and 2 weeks from now? Josh, are you lying to all of us? And no, that's not what's happening. What actually happens is life goes on and things change, and it's not weird for things to be different in the future than they are at this very moment. But I'm living in this moment right now where I am a very, very happy person. Okay? Can I just be happy for a few minutes? Do you guys mind? So anyways, thank you everyone that made it by the live stream yesterday. That was cool. That was a lot of fun. I wasn't going to mention that it was my birthday yesterday, but fucking Snapchat sold me out, and then I woke up yesterday to a lot of messages that said happy birthday, so thank you guys. But the truth of the matter is I'm just getting old at this point. I turned 42 yesterday, and I woke up to my bones aching and my joints hurt and I was grumpy, and that's no different from any other day. But the fact is I'm just turning into a fucking old man, and that's okay, I guess. I mean, I'll try to do it gracefully. I'll do my best. I will do my absolute best to do it gracefully, but just wanted to say thank you to everyone that came over and hung out with me for a while, and then you know, gave some birthday wishes and all that. That was cool. Thank you. I appreciate you. So we are our second full week into Swift. The first week was kind of really nothing. I had to do the, you know, little, not orientation, but you get the point, all the paperwork, and then I didn't really do much that week because it was just everything was getting started. So other than that, it's honestly been pretty fantastic over here. They did screw up a little bit today. If you were there for my live stream yesterday, my goofy ass, excuse me, didn't even know when my paydays were. I was like, I must be getting paid soon. I have no idea, but I called the payroll department this morning, and they said, oh yeah, we paid you this morning. We deposited it on your comm data card. Well, thanks. That makes my life much more difficult than it has to be. Luckily, I'm still off today. I just swung by the truck to pick up my comm data card and figure that out, and then I'm not heading out until tomorrow. But now I got, my whole check is on my comm data card, and the only thing I can think to get my money immediately is go to an ATM and pull the money off, which I can do because the lady in the truck stop said, we ain't cashing a comm data check that big. You're making Swift money over there, son. We just can't afford it. You trying to bankrupt the whole goddamn truck stop? And so the only thing I can think is hopefully I can go to one ATM, but a lot of ATMs have a limit on how much you can withdraw, and I might have to go to a few ATMs to get my money and then take it to one of my bank branches and deposit it. And it's a good fucking thing I'm off today, because that would be really messed up, and I have access to a car, so I'm not having to Uber everywhere. But they said, oh, we just got your direct deposit information recently, so that's why this first check went on your comm data card. So that's a whole pain in the ass, but I guess the timing couldn't have been any better just because of the time that I have off. So I'm running around town doing that today, but that's okay. We'll get it worked out. Hopefully by next check they got it worked out. So I finally figured it out. For anyone that cares, for an owner operator at Swift, all your work for the week processes Thursday, I guess, so end of Thursday, and then they told me that I should see my pay Monday mornings from now on, which is pretty cool. Monday mornings, that's I whatever, as long as I get paid, I don't fucking care. But I mean, I guess if I gotta give them a knock for screwing up, I'll give them that one, because I gave them my direct deposit information the fucking day I started, and somebody screwed up on that. But whatever, if I was out on the road right now, I would be kind of freaking out because I wouldn't know how to do all this to get my money to the right place. And I tried to add my card to my Cash App and then pull money from it, and it was like, nope, rejected, security reasons. So whatever, we'll do it the old-fashioned way, and we'll go to some ATMs and we'll figure it out. I don't want to try again because knowing my luck, I'll fuck up and I'll end up like locking my whole card down because I was just trying to get my damn money. So whatever, we'll do that. The ATM where I'm at has a $300 limit, so I'd have to withdraw like fucking 10 times to get all my goddamn money, and then I got to pay the fees on top of it. Enough about that. It's just kind of a thing that they screwed up. But there were some reasons why I wanted to come to Swift, right? One was being that they have this vast freight network with freight fucking everywhere, and we all know that the economy and the freight market is kind of slow right now. That's just a fact of life. And I did want to I'll get to the thing they did, okay? I'll get to the thing they did. You just got to give me time to work out my thoughts. The good news, a little update on the load board. I did a whole video on it last week, and there were only 4 or 5 loads on it at any given time. Now, I had said that this load board is brand new at Swift. They weren't it's a work in progress, right? So I'm willing to be patient with it and wait to see what happens. And I guess some people heard me say that the Swift load board is the greatest thing that ever existed. I have loads coming out of my ass all over the Swift load board, which is not what I ever said. I said we're going to get in there, we're going to see how it is, and then the very first update I gave you guys was, yeah, there's only like 4 or 5 loads on it. We just got to be patient and see what happens. Last time I checked this morning, there were 6 pages of loads on the load board, so that has improved greatly. Now, obviously, with a company the size of Swift, you'd want to see that more like 600 pages. 60 even would be really good, would be a huge step up from where it is. So since last week, since I gave that video on the load board, it has expanded considerably. It's still not where we want it, right? We're still not able to completely dispatch ourselves off of that load board, but it is very nice to see within a week's time they have greatly expanded the amount of loads on it. For me being out of Denver, I probably won't do this a lot, but they have all the beer loads out of Denver, which are very heavy, not good for your fuel mileage, obviously, but beer loads out of Denver, and that doesn't matter what company you work for, right? You get a goddamn beer load out of Denver, and they got those going everywhere. So that's nice for me when I'm home in Colorado, that I should always have a load to somewhere on the load board that I can just grab. We're just going to be patient. We're going to wait for them to keep expanding that load board, because if I can try to wrap my head around their vision, they want that load board just as bad as we do, because it's going to save them time and money in load planners and dispatchers if we as owner operators, and a lot of people are super pissed about that too. Sorry, Swift calls us owner operators. What the fuck you want me to do about it? But if we can just handle our business, I think Swift would like that a lot better. But we are still in the down freight market. So if they're cranking out 6 pages right now and still expanding that load board, when we hit that good freight market again, I'd expect to see a lot of fucking loads on that load board. Sometimes patience is the name of the game, my friends, you know, and a lot of people are going to take some shots at that. But you're a job hopper, Josh. Maybe. But I did give that last company a month just to switch divisions for me, and they wouldn't do it. As a matter of fact, they straight up told me they wouldn't do it. So if our goals were no longer aligning, what was the point of me being there anymore? So that's the way I feel about that. But with this load board, it is going to take some patience, guys. It's just not quite there yet, but it is a substantially improved over last week, so that's fucking awesome. So yeah, I talked about them being able to get me home wherever I wanted to go. Now back to the job hopper thing. How many jobs have I quit because I put in for home time with the company, they say hell yeah, it's approved, and then they didn't even try to get me to that home time at all, and just told me, well, tough luck, maybe we'll try again next time. And I like to be an adult in my daily life, right? So I would always reach out to those companies and say, hey, it looks like we're going to miss home time. Can you tell me what your plan is to get me there, say, next weekend instead? And I got ignored a lot. Companies would just straight up ignore me and wouldn't do anything to get me home. Now, I understand that people are just shitty on the internet a lot, and they'll go, oh, job hopper, he quit his job because they wouldn't send him home. Now, if they're real truckers like me, they honestly don't believe that. They know that that is such an important thing. We want two things as truckers. Well, there's maybe other things we want as truckers also. But as over-the-road freight hauling truckers, as far as I can tell, there's two major things we want. When I'm ready to work, when I'm out here working, keep this goddamn truck rolling, right? And when it's time for me to go home, get my ass home. I earned that, right? So anybody that says I should have stayed at a job because they wouldn't get me home and I'm just being an asshole, honestly doesn't believe that. They just like saying stupid shit, right? And that obviously has caused me to quit a lot of jobs, because I am a very firm believer that if I'm going to spend weeks or even months running this truck all over the damn country, helping you as a company make money, you owe me the decency, the common fucking courtesy to get me home when I asked for it. All right? And my friends, I know we've been here for almost 12 minutes now as I rambled on, but the very first time I asked Swift to go home, they got me home, right? They got me where I wanted to be for my time off. No questions asked, no bullshit, no nothing. I'm here. Now, I want to tell you, though, it wasn't perfect, but it fucking got done, and that's the important part. Let me tell you. I'll tell you about it. Let me get a hit off my vape, too, though. That's delicious. I bought 2 more of these yesterday because I thought they were going to be like $30 a piece, right? So I set aside $70 to go buy some, and I bought 2. And the lady ringing them up says, that'll be $35. And I went, fucking what? And I was like, how much are they? And she told me the price, and I was like, oh shit, I could have afforded like 2 more. And then because I'm kind of dumb sometimes, I said that out loud. Oh shit, I could have afforded 2 more. Thank you. Have a nice day. I didn't buy 2 more, but I have the other 2 already. So I'm pretty well covered for 3 weeks. If any of you care about my vaping situation, now you're up to date on that. So what I meant to tell you though, okay, so where a place I like to take home time for some reason has been a very, very difficult place to get me for all these years in trucking, right? And I understand that, and that is a huge reason why I do lease purchases. Now, you guys might think I'm crazy, but as a truck driver, your personal relationships matter, right? And keeping them intact is way more important than the fucking road sometimes. Well, all the time, right? And this place has always proven to be very, very difficult for every trucking company. Even though when I talk to them on the phone before I go work for them, I say, can you get me there? They say, hell yeah, we can get you there. And then they don't. So that is part of the reason why I lease, because if I'm close enough, then I'm just going to go there, and it's going to cost me my money and fuel to do it, but I'm just going to do it anyways. And in theory, as a lease driver, a company shouldn't be able to say a fucking word to you because for all intents and purposes, you own the truck. I understand that you don't actually own the truck, but for all intents and purposes, you're the owner of that truck. So they shouldn't say a fucking word to you. Now, Western Flyer would get me within 200 miles of it. Well, 200 miles isn't the worst thing ever. Look, I understand it's hard to get there. It's going to cost me the money. But they would argue with me the whole time. Like, okay, look, I'm heading there. I'm heading there. I'm taking the weekend off. And they'd be like, no, but Josh, we need you to do this. Or we're going to charge you for every goddamn mile that truck moves. And you know that, right? And they just made it very difficult for me, which made it much easier to say, okay, it's time for me to move on. My home time matters, and I don't care who thinks that my home time don't matter. It matters to me. You know, the guy running this truck, it matters to me. So with Swift, they had gotten me about 250 miles away from my destination. Now, I'm not going to say this whole process was perfect. because they assigned me another load that was going to just straight up overshoot my destination by 350 miles, delivering the day after I was supposed to be at my destination. And all trucking companies are at least going to try this, right? So I told them, no. I said, no, this is supposed to be my home time. I am happy to get back to work after that, but this ain't going to work for me. And you know what they said? They said, okay, yeah, we can pull that load off you, no problem. They said, we'll look and see if there's a load going closer to your destination or to your destination, but no promises. I said, hey, that's cool. At that time, I was about 2 hours away from where they had me delivering. And I said, just let me know, because if you don't let me know, I'll take another load. If you want me to pull a load out of here that gets me closer to where I'm going, I will absolutely take it. But if you don't let me know by the time I send you my empty call, I said, I'm just going to head home for the weekend, okay? And they said, yeah, that's fine. Absolutely fine. No problem. So I got there, I delivered, sent in my empty call, you know, got hooked up to my new trailer, gave them, you know, 15, 20 minutes, did a little pre-trip on the trailer, you know, sent in my paperwork, all these things I needed to do anyways. And by the time I was done with all that, they had not sent me another load. So you know what I did? I acted like what they call me here, an owner-operator. And I got in my big rig, right? Got in my big rig, and I drove that motherfucker where I was going for home time. And that was that. There was no argument, no fucking yelling at me about how I can't move the truck or how it's going to cost me to move that truck or anything in the world like that. I just drove the goddamn truck to where I was going. I never said a word to anyone. No one said a word to me, and all is well. There is absolutely no problem. Yes, I understand that's quite a few miles to Deadhead to get home, but that's how it fucking goes sometimes, right? That's just the way it goes. And then I got up this morning, and as difficult as it is to get to this place, it's just as difficult to leave the place. So I've been looking at the load board all weekend, checking it out, and I was not able to find anything to get me out of here, and that's okay. I understand what I'm getting into when I take my home time at this particular location. But I got up this morning, and they had sent me probably the best load they could find for now, and that's going to get me, I don't leave till tomorrow. I deadhead 30 miles or whatever. I go pick up. I take that 200 miles for a delivery the next day. So what are we talking? Wednesday morning. I'll be there bright and early, ready to drop that off. All in all, the trip's about 250 miles or so. I know it's a short trip, but it gets me right back to where they had me delivering before, and they had a whole lot of freight moving out of that place. So if I were to guess, they're getting me over there, and then they're going to get me a good load to send me somewhere else, and I'm just going to be happy. All right? So to clear that up, a lot of people have asked, dude, why do you keep doing lease purchases? Why do you keep doing it? That is a huge reason. That's a huge reason. I can make these decisions myself in theory. Any company that brings you on as a lease purchase operator and then tries to tell you what to do, I think they're going to get their asses handed to them pretty soon by the federal government. That's going to be like, are they really independent? Really? Are they? Because you're over there telling them what they can and can't do, and that doesn't sound very fucking independent to me. And I see a lot of companies getting in a lot of trouble here very soon for the way they handle these things, which is why I believe Swift handles things the way they do. They obviously want to keep their owner operators, air quotes for the people that think I'm serious when I say I'm a Swift owner operator. I say it because it triggers some dummies that fucking for some reason get really fucking mad about what other people do in their lives. I obviously know I'm not an owner operator, but they have to keep that division, that lease purchase division, have to start treating people like they are truly independent. And that's where we're at in the world. And that is a huge reason why I came over here to Swift. It was a little bit messy. And the only part of it that was a little bit messy was they didn't quite get me close enough, but that's okay. It's my goddamn truck. I will go over there and I will get it done. Don't worry about me. And the brilliant part about it was the part where they didn't say a fucking word. I set my available time. They weren't quite able to meet that, and I'll just spend an extra day. I'll just spend an extra day, which is what I'm doing right now as soon as I figure out this whole ATM debacle that I have to deal with. But I can't be mad about that. right? I can't be mad about that. They have consistently ran this truck since I've got here. I know it's only 2 weeks in, guys. I get it. But maybe we've hit the bottom of the freight market by now, right? Maybe things are going to start getting better for all of us. Who really knows? But they've kept my truck running, making me some money, and they got me home when I asked to be home. And that, my friends, is fucking what I ask from a trucking company, and what all of us over-the-road truck drivers should demand from a trucking company. It's not too much to ask for us to get our home time. All right? And any company that doesn't want to give you your home time and wants to fight with you and wants to argue with you and wants to make it harder for you to enjoy your fucking home time deserves for drivers to quit. Deserves for people to walk out the fucking door and never ever look back. They don't deserve us, guys. We're better than that, right? And to go back to that point, I just want to reiterate, I truly, truly don't believe that out of all these people that have yelled at me about being a job hopper for all these times I've quit jobs that wouldn't get me home, I don't believe they would accept the same treatment. Not even a little bit. Absolutely don't think they would do that. There's no way. Because if we as truckers are accepting now that trucking companies don't have to send us home, then we as truckers are the ones that are fucking up. If we're going to allow them to keep us on the road for however long they want, then we're setting a very bad precedent for the next generation of truckers in front of us. If we say it is okay to not get sent home, and we fight with drivers that demand to have their home time, then we are fucking up the industry, not only for ourselves, but for the next generation. And if you truly believe that truck drivers don't deserve home time and you are a truck driver, I actually strongly encourage you to make a video. And I'm not saying that because I want to fight with you and I want to cause drama with you. I want to hear that video. I want to hear your counterpoints to why you think truck drivers don't deserve home time as a truck driver yourself. And I want to hear you attack the points, the actual points. And I'll tell you what, I'm not the biggest YouTuber out there, but if you make a good video that explains why we don't deserve home time as truck drivers, because this is running rampant in the industry. Apparently, quitting your job because they won't send you home is a bad thing. I don't know why. But you make a good video that explains and counterpoints to what I'm saying, I'll share that video out and say, this guy made a damn good video about why truckers don't deserve home time. I'm serious. I doubt you can make that video. I doubt you can make that video. The point I'm making with all that is people don't believe the dumb shit that comes out of their mouth. That's what I'm trying to tell you. But so far, my friends, Swift has delivered. Okay? I always knew that to get to this location in general, like in particular, I mean, not in general, this location in particular, it was always going to cost a little bit of money on my side. But as long as the company's doing their best to try to get me to this location, and then they're not bothering me when I just take off and drive to that location, you've got a happy trucker over here. And that's all we can ask for, right? So far, my friends, may change in the future. Okay, notice I'm not dropping referral links. I'm not asking you to come work here. In my experience so far, this was a good decision for me to come over to Swift. I'm gonna head out because I gotta find like 10 ATMs today so I can get my fucking money, and then I'm gonna go spend time with the person I'm here to spend time with because I got an extra day to do that. See you guys soon. I love you. Bye.